Whether you're looking for answers to specific life questions or seeking to become the best version of you possible, welcome to the Mental Breakdown and Psych Reg podcast, where we offer insight, information, and strategies based upon research and years of practice as clinical psychologists. So sit back, have a listen, and get connected with our hosts, Dr. Bernie Wilkinson and Dr. Richard Marshall. Welcome back. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning. It's cold in Florida this morning. Another cold. I had to wear my little sweater.
Noreen, it is cold in Florida.
You know what the high is going to be today?
What?
70.
Well, that's not too bad.
That's cold.
That's not too bad. It was really cold this morning when I was heading into the office. Before the sun comes up, it's really cold. So it's not snowing, so that's, I guess, a good thing.
Relative, right?
Yes, that's
no,
right.
It's not snow. You don't have freezing rain. But anything that gets into 70s or lower, and this weekend it was really low.
Yeah.
It was in the 30s and 40s in Gainesville.
See?
That's cold.
That's cold.
I don't care where you are, that's cold. Okay.
So, well, today
But it's going to warm up this week, so we're happy again. We have our Florida smiles back on.
That's true.
It's going to get warmer by the end of the week. Okay.
Well, today we're going to talk about anger. Now, we talked about anger a couple of weeks ago as it relates to millennials, but today we're going to talk about it in a little bit different of a capacity, because we were reading this great article from Psychology Today. You'll find the link to it in the show notes, but in that article they were talking about how we respond and manage our anger.
That's right.
Which was really interesting and something we thought we would share with everyone.
Because we have always said, and we say this to young children in particular, it's okay to be angry. The problem is not your anger. The problem is how you respond, what you do about your anger, and how you respond to your anger, and what your anger leads you to do or to say.
Right.
Because typically when we respond in anger, we're always sorry. We're always regretful that we responded in an angry way. So it's not so much that anger is the problem, it's how we respond to our anger that is the problem.
Well, I think one of the great points that we were talking about before we started recording is that when you think about anger, when you think about an interaction that you're having with someone that leads to you becoming angry, we tend to become angry at that person.
That's right.
Even though what we're really angry about isn't the person, it's the information, or it's the perceived inability for us to convey the message that we're trying to convey.
That's right. The famous Greek line, you don't kill the messenger.
Right.
Okay. But when we're angry, we tend to react against a person.
Right.
We get angry at a person. We get angry at the act. And if we can stop, that would be the first step.
Right.
Don't get angry at the person.
Right.
Because the person isn't the problem. The person is the messenger.
Right.
And what you have to be concerned about, not angry about, what you have to be concerned about is the message, not the messenger.
Well, that's great. So let's do this, because there are 3 steps, right? There are 3 steps to learning how to better manage your anger so that you can have better interactions with other people, but you can, in essence, just better manage your anger, better manage your frustrations in those situations. And the first one is, as you said, recognizing that it's the action or it's the information that you're frustrated about, not the person that you're talking to.
And before we get to that, we should say, and we've probably said this before in previous podcasts and articles, and I'm pretty sure we talk about it in our book. Anger is an adaptive mechanism.
Right.
Anything that has been preserved over thousands of years in our species serves a function.
Right.
Anger serves a function because anger provides the energy for us to defend ourselves.
Right.
Okay. So it is a necessary part, and that's why we say anger's not the problem. You're supposed to be angry, just like you're supposed to go into fight or flight. You're supposed to get angry. You're supposed to feel sadness. These are informative emotions.
Right.
So anger plays a very positive role in our life. So we don't want to get rid of it.
Right.
When people say, well, you shouldn't be angry. No, it's okay. You should be angry because those emotions inform you that you need to make a change.
Right.
You don't need to attack the messenger, but you need to make some change.
Right. Anger is the cue that there's a problem.
That's right.
Just like fear is a cue that there's a problem.
Exactly.
And so, absolutely. So, and and there's different types of anger and different types of situations that we find ourselves getting angry in.
Right.
But generally speaking, we get angry when we're in these interactions, and so we have to figure out how to better manage them. So again, step one is focusing on the action or information and not focusing on the other person. You want to avoid being angry at the other person because that's not going to get you anywhere.
That's right. We talked the other day about work harder.
Right.
If something happens that blocks us, okay, we get a bad grade on a test. We get moved in a position, like in your soccer team, you move somebody to another position.
Right.
We get angry at the coach. We get angry at the teacher. We get angry at our parents. We get angry at our partner. That's not. What is the problem? Did you not? If you got an F on a paper, it's not the professor's fault, probably. You either didn't study hard enough, or you didn't write well enough, or you didn't proofread. There's some other problem that you should be thinking about. If you're moved if you're moved from a, what do you call those guys that score?
Oh my gosh, strikers.
Strikers. If you want to be a striker, but you're moved to defense, it's not the coach's fault.
Right.
Okay? It's not the coach that the anger should be directed to.
Right.
If you're feeling angry, figure out what you really want and solve that problem.
Right. Right. So figuring out, and that process, it's step one.
Right.
And we're talking about it as though it's it is a very straightforward thing, but it's not necessarily an easy thing to do.
Absolutely.
Because that's going to require a lot of self inspection and reflection and really thinking about why it is that whatever made you angry.
Because typically we've been doing it for years. We've been angry at people.
Right.
So it's a new message.
Right.
And anytime we're asking you to make a change, it's probably going to take some time and effort.
Absolutely. So now step two is when you find yourself, or if you find yourself getting frustrated with the person that you're interacting with, you got to find a way to take a time out.
Right.
You have to de-escalate. When we're in these interactions, we tend to keep revving, and you take the next step, and then they'll take the next step, and then you take the next step, and it just keeps going higher and higher to the point where it's out of control, and we have really lost sight of what we were even talking about to begin with.
And the irony of it is when we're dealing with young children, the advice we give them is step back, take a deep breath, calm down, don't do anything.
Right.
And yet as adults, we jump right into the fray, So listen to your own advice.
Right.
Step back, take a time out, breathe, reorganize your thinking, and take another look at the situation.
Right. Absolutely.
So time out is step back, time out, cool off. Don't let it escalate out of control.
Absolutely. Now, the third and final step is you need to figure out a way to resolve the fact that you got angry to begin with.
Right. That's the key. Right. That's the important part.
Because this is our education piece. This is the piece where we're looking at it and we're saying, okay, why did I get angry about this so that the next time it comes around, I don't get angry about it again?
That's right. What made me angry? Yes, it was the message the person gave, but it wasn't the messenger.
Right.
What was the thing that made me angry, and what do I need to do about that?
Right. And again, so sort of as we started, this is another time when we have to do a lot of self-reflection, and hopefully you see that message in what we're talking about today. That is that to deal with your anger, that's your anger is your problem. It's not the problem of somebody else. It's not the problem of your parents or your kids or your coworkers or that frustrating person that's sitting next to you on the bus or whatever. It's not their problem that you're getting angry. It's your problem that you're getting angry. And so you need to figure out why it is that you're getting angry.
That's right. There are, like everything else in life, there are things that happen to me that make me angry. But they don't make you angry.
Right.
So you need to think about that, is that there are certain things that make you angry. You have to figure out, why does this make me angry? Why does this stuff make me angry? And what should I do about it? Because not everybody gets angry at the same stuff.
Right.
So figure out why you're getting angry and what you might do about it.
Right. So you have, if you follow these three steps, it's a lot of self-reflection, a lot of sort of insight building.
Right.
But hopefully it will help you develop a better understanding of what things make you frustrated, why they make you frustrated. And of course, the most important thing is then what do you do about it, so that you can prevent yourself from getting angry again the next time. Preserve relationships, because sometimes when we get angry, we damage relationships, because then they are just sometimes to the point of irrepair.
Right.
So let's focus on these 3 steps so that you can preserve relationships and manage yourself a little bit better.
It comes under the broader heading of be mindful. Mindfulness. Think about what you're doing. Think about why you're doing it. Don't just react or overreact.
Yeah. Maybe one week we should do a series on just anger management and kind of walk through the process, because there's some pretty clear steps that we use that include these 3 things, but some pretty clear steps that we do to help build anger management skills.
As you introduced that idea, I was thinking I'd love to hear from listeners, I'd love to hear from listeners about what you do to manage your anger, or other professionals who might be listening. If you have steps to follow, especially to de-escalate. De-escalating is a hard part of this whole process. Parents,
it is.
We ask parents to learn to de-escalate when their children get angry.
Right.
It's not an easy thing to do. So if you have any tips, we'd love to hear from you.
Right. We want parents to de-escalate, in the very least, to model de-escalation to their kids.
Yeah, so the kids learn.
If your kids see you fly off the handle, why would we be surprised that they fly off the handle?
Right.
So, all right, that's it for today. We will be back with
finished already?
We are finished already. Did you have more to
talk
about? Are you getting mad?
We could. I'm going to get... No. That was good.
See?
Okay.
All right, but we'll be back tomorrow to talk a little bit more about some other things and start to wrap up the week. So have a great rest of your day, and we will see you tomorrow. But until then, stay happy, stay healthy, and forget to be afraid.